Oh, we got. Oh, that must
Hello,
be.
hello, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live. My name is Rick Ramirez, also known as Ricks2Cents, along with my fellow co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything,
Howdy, y'all.
Andy from AndyBirdBuilds,
What's up, everyone?
and Roger from Roger's Shop.
The
Howdy, howdy.
The Grim Reaper.
You got my assistant here with me tonight. That's
What you
Elmer.
got? What you got going on there, Roger?
Yeah, a little Halloween thing kind of going on since Halloween's tomorrow. I'm
Nice.
practicing.
Doug
So I'm gonna,
Steve, our
I'm
third
gonna,
laser winner.
I'm gonna start by saying I'm a little concerned because Clayton didn't post a comment. Oh,
Yeah.
there he is.
Oh, there you go. Clayton's in there.
Whoa, Clayton, you're at sleep at the switch. Look,
So we
look.
got our two last winners for lasers. Doug Steves, he won the laser, and Clayton won the laser as well. Our loyal followers. Hello, guys. Hello, all. Happy Hump Day.
It's been a crazy week.
So I was told today by a CNC manufacturer that I won't mention the name that my channel and my content is not woodworking content.
Okay.
And I says, okay, we can go down the old school way and say laser is not woodworking. I says, but I'm gonna have to say neither is a CNC then. Touche. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
How did they take that?
I don't know. I haven't got a response back yet.
Okay.
And you probably won't.
Yeah. But it's true. We it's just, I don't know. It's so dumb to me.
It's
Yeah, I don't know. The world's kind of a crazy place sometimes. It just, I mean, you have to diversify enough, right? But yeah, I mean, you have a lot of different content, which, like, I know when the Acmer guys did they ever send you a laser?
No, I've never talked to Acmer.
Oh, because they were. One of the Acmer people reached out to me and said, "Hey, what about this Rick guy? I looked at his channel and it doesn't look like he does a lot of laser stuff." It's like, yeah, you got to go to his Facebook area. He does a lot more on Facebook than the rest of us.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just assumed they were going to send you a laser.
Yeah, so I guess my channel is more geared towards entrepreneurs, starting businesses, and expanding businesses. So part of my channel originally started off as an apparel, right? That was DTF, DTG, silkscreen, embroidery. And that was really because my primary business was helping startup companies. Like, you're a startup company, from non-existent, I created your logo, I created your website, I created your business card, I created your shirts, I lettered up your trucks. Like, from start to finish, I handled you opening a business. And that's really what my side hustle was. So maybe it was a wide variety because I was creating a wide variety of like a niche for starter companies. But then with the woodworking and the laser engravings and things, honestly, something I wanted to do. But just like a lot of other people, I didn't have the ability to, because I just didn't have the money to spend something on something just because. So with the influencer perspective, was able to give me, an entryway to do that, to be able to have these type of lasers, and then use that to kind of expand and do woodworking. And to be honest with you, I get more of a satisfaction doing woodworking than I do shirts. And I'm not saying, but I can go pound out 300 shirts and make a hell of a lot more money faster. But it's just not. I think I enjoy doing the artwork more better than I do making the shirts. But I think the apparel side of my business now, I don't do a whole lot of like stupid funny shirts. I do like roofers, companies, landscapers. So I get that same company twice a year. Rick, I want 200 shirts. All right, I pound out a bunch of shirts and hand it to them. I don't talk to them in 6 months. And I have 10, 15 companies that do that to me. A couple Mexican bands that do that to me. And I've kind of put that business on cruise control because I'm at capacity of what I have. I'd have to upgrade my equipment to be able to handle more. But yeah. So
I just realized I didn't put anything up on my screen at the back there.
Oh man. Come on.
And sorry, I can't operate in reverse here.
So it is tomorrow's Halloween, and so next month is officially our giveaway month, November. So I will start pumping out a ton of content for this guy that's behind me that we'll be giving away for free, the longer Nano 20 Pro. So yeah, let's see what's questions and
Oh, we got people from Paul from Belgium.
Yeah, so we've definitely been growing a global audience. So if you are in the chats, do us a favor, let us know where you're joining us from. Beam me up, Laser Engraving said Roger's ready to cast some spell.
Hey, I got the wand right here.
we gotta take a better look at Roger really quick.
So yeah, I've got everything I need. Yeah, I could cast a few spells. Have a little fun here. This is Elmer. That's my assistant tonight. He don't say much though.
I'm astounded. I thought about putting a pumpkin lantern up on my shelf there, but just
Roger,
a laser cut one.
Roger, I think you froze for a second, or you're casting a spell and like super like move.
Slow-mo.
Yeah.
Clayton said, I love my tour laser. There you go. Okay, Anthony said, oh, I'm sorry, not Anthony. Antoine. Finally pulled the trigger on a CNC. Appreciate all the content you all produce. It's been a fun process to learn, enjoying seeing what I can do.
Sweet. What kind of CNC?
Look at this, Belgian. Whoa, check it out.
Home of fine chocolate. I actually had some chocolate from Belgium brought over for me this week.
Oh, wow.
No, the Nano does not use proprietary software. You can use Lightburn with that.
Yep. All longer products.
In fact, you have to use Lightburn.
We do have someone who's supposed to join us live today. I'm not sure. Maybe they're running a little late. Let me send them a message.
What's up, Cody?
I'll continue with the stream here. Some people drinking beer. Light burn for Galvos. Was that is there a light burn for Galvos or no? Oh, for the Nano? No, it uses regular old light burn.
Yep.
Can anybody hear my dogs barking?
Yeah,
which is brew tonight.
No.
I have two dogs too, so you'll occasionally hear them as well. Antoine said, I went with the Shapeoko 5 Pro. I'm out in New Mexico.
Good starter.
Nice. Congratulations. That's fun.
You started with one of those, didn't you, Andy?
Yeah, I started with the Shapeoko 3 XXL.
Nice. You had to throw the XXL in there. Huh?
That CNC was done in black and white, though.
He's like, just so you know.
Something I'm working on. So Shapeoko just sent me their 5 Pro. I have it in the shop, but I don't have it assembled yet. So I'm trading out the old one for a new one.
Nice.
But looking forward to do some videos on it. And
Manuel said, hey guys, FedEx has my Hollywood treat. They're delivering my Asmer P3 tomorrow.
Ah, cool.
Nice one.
Nice, Mike.
That's currently still my favorite diode laser.
Yeah, so that is Mike, the one that I sent to you, Steve. Remember from last week?
Oh.
Yeah.
Here we go.
How we doing, guys?
Hello. How's it going? Joined a little bit late here, so we didn't get to actually do the introduction. Blake is a guest with us today. Blake, do you want to give a background on what I guess there's two parts to your story, right? The supplier and engraving, kind of just the same as us. Do you want to kind of go into how you got into the industry and kind of how have you expanded upon that now?
Yeah, sure. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. We started out a little over 3 years ago with our first company called Outnumbered 521, and my wife was making wooden earrings and ornaments. Well, I should say she was making earrings, and she was doing that pretty successfully. with the Cricut out of faux leather. She was selling those to boutiques in surprisingly large quantities. And she came to me and she said, I want to make wooden earrings. And I'm like, okay, you know, what does that take? And then she suggested a laser. Any guesses what laser she suggested? The Glow Forge. Come on.
Blowforge, yes.
I almost didn't want to say it. I was hesitant. All right.
So she said, I want to get a Glow Forge. And, you know, I started researching. And of course, you know, I see some mixed reviews. And I said, you know what? I don't want to outgrow a laser. You know, in 6 months, I don't want to be regretting spending, you know, I don't even know what they were there in the beginning, you know, thousands of dollars on something that we're going to outgrow. So we ended up buying a laser straight from China. And we couldn't have been happier. She was able to produce enough earrings and ornaments to pay that off in about 2 months' time, which
Nice.
was pretty cool. You know, it's a big risk initially, you know, not sure, you know, what we were going to be doing. And it was all her at that point. I really had nothing to do with it. And then I started going to craft shows with her, and I noticed, you know, we were making good money, you know, $600, $900, awesome, little extra money, not a big deal. But then I noticed there was no guy stuff at craft shows. So I'm like, why don't we start, what can we add or what can we make that, well, so we have something for the guys. You know, the women are dragging their husbands around and, you know, there's nothing there for them. So, you know, we found some ammo cans, and then we did some wallets, and, you know, we just kept adding more and more of this guy stuff. Molly doesn't like when I say that, but it's true. You know, and we started then, you know, then we're hitting like $2,000 at a craft show, and it's just nuts. You know, we got a line of people. Yeah, there we go. You know, then we got a line of people, you know, buying all this stuff, and it was just unreal. So then we really transitioned to the guy stuff pretty heavy. We added on hats and hat clips and a variety of wallets. And then we even then started bringing a laser to the shows, and then being able to do that customization, you know, live. And then, you know, we started making even more money at craft shows. I started kind of buying larger quantities of this stuff that we found success with. And then I would have some local people or other people looking for some of these things. And I'm like, well, why don't we start like selling some of these different supplies? And so then, you know, kind of had the idea for Great Lakes Laser Supply, because, you know, my real passion is helping people. And that's why I've been successful in my career, is really helping other people, training people, and how to be successful in what they do. So, you know, I thought starting Great Lakes Laser Supply would be a great opportunity. And we'll be coming up on 6 months. In about 2 weeks, we'll be 6 months old as Great Lakes Laser Supply. And the cool part is, you know, selling the blanks and everything is great, but with our Facebook group, really been able to bring in that my passion, you know, for helping people that are, whether they're getting started or whether they're trying to do tumblers for the first time. And I would say, like, the biggest thing I love doing is talking through people, you know, kind of finding their niche, where to sell their niche, or, you know, those items that they kind of dive into, and really just kind of marketing and networking their business. You know, I've really enjoyed the Facebook group, you know, more than just you know, marketing tool. It's been a real pleasure. I've got about a 40-minute commute home every day, and I usually try to fill it with you know, helping somebody with their laser.
So initially, when I guess I knew of your Facebook group but didn't know of you, right?
Yeah.
And then later on, I ended up seeing the hat clips. I didn't know that it was even one of your products. I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's badass. I actually took the image. I saved it. I went to Google Lens and I popped it in and said, find this. Nothing came up. I'm like, what the hell? So I went to Amazon. I did the same thing and nothing came up. So I was mad because I didn't share the post. I didn't even know where I got it from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, later on, it came back up, and then come and find out it's you. I'm like, oh, man. And I had actually told the guys about it last week. You have one on your hat there, right?
Yeah. So I've got our original style, which is a hat clip here you can customize. This one says just the tip. In our area, the Second Amendment kind of stuff does really well. And then last night, we launched golf ball markers. We've got these in black and then just the standard silver.
Yeah, so we're always talking about upsell, right? And you have customers, existing business customers, and those are smalls. they could, make decent money in volume,
Mhm.
or maybe like you're saying that we've been talking about like transitioning your business to the next level. And part of it has been like going to these trade shows or type of things. And then the other thing we talked about is falling forward, right? Because you have to have the fear of failure or the ability to fail, because you see these people on these Facebook groups, they have this huge selection. And sometimes I think they go over bombard because they don't know when you're testing a market. Personally, me, I wouldn't make 1,000 on anything. I'd say, see, I'm gonna make a couple of some kind of things and see what sells. And even I would say if you went to one trade show in a certain area, something may sell, and 3 towns over it may not, right? So doesn't mean it's not a seller, it just may not be a seller in that area.
Yeah.
So having smalls, that's something that's a fairly inexpensive item. You can take maybe a little bit more risk. Some of the things like Andy or Steve does, if they were to make this badass cutting board and do a laser engrave with some dumb thing like a turkey on it and say it's going to sell, they just took a $300 cutting board, like it didn't sell. That sucks. But you did something like $1 little clip and you wrote, like you said, a First Amendment thing, or the hand with the middle finger going up, something dumb, but it's going to sell.
That's why I wouldn't make 1,000 of anything either, unless somebody threw a handful of money at me first. I don't do things on spec.
Yeah.
All right, hey Blake, I just looked you up. So, you said just outside Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay, north, south, east, or west?
North. Why? Where are you?
Aha, north. How far north?
Rockford.
Okay, I grew up in Sparta.
Oh, okay. That's where. So, in my conversations with people, they always have, I don't want to say excuses. They're always like, "Oh, I'm in a small town, or my town, I don't have any sales. I can't sell hat clips for $11." Sparta. What's the population in Sparta? Pretty big city?
No.
Do you know what we make at craft shows in Sparta?
Do you go to Sparta High School?
I did not know. I went to Grand Haven.
Okay. You probably don't do very well in Sparta.
No, we crush it. We'll make $3,500 at a craft show in Sparta.
That's awesome. So Sparta, it's like a town of like 3,500 people. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. We do 4 shows a year in Sparta.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. So, I just looked you up and I saw that and I was like, I wonder which way outside of Grand Rapids. So my sister lives in Sand Lake, just north of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's I don't know if you know about the bike trail, but we've taken that bike trail. We'll park in Sand Lake, ride all the way down to Rockford, have a beer at Rockford Brewing Company, and then cruise back up to Sand Lake.
That's cool.
Yeah. Small world.
It is. I'm in Kentucky now, so.
Okay. Cool.
He went there for the bourbon.
Yeah, I just
Or the chicken.
bourbon and horses. Not really, but that is what's here.
No, very cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, what's the price on those hat clips?
So wholesale pricing for a pack of 10 is $21.99 for the original style hat clip. And the other ones just launched last night. These are $12 for a 5-pack.
Do you give better pricings for a higher quantity?
Yeah, if we start to get into some larger numbers, yeah.
Like 50 or 100, something like that,
Yeah. Yep, over 100.
Yeah.
Go down a little bit.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll probably reaching out to you.
Yeah, hit me up.
So that's something we were talking about too, is that like we were talking about the nano, the laser behind us, this one right here, right? So even if you do have items, but you had something that's ionized that could be easily laser engraved with a smaller laser, you don't need to pull in a 60 watt like this one or a 30 watt like that one. You know what I mean? You can have a smaller one. And even if it wasn't something that someone was going to buy, let's just say you put a extremely high resolution, you're intentionally trying to make something engraved long just so it's running, right? You're going to draw an audience to your booth, to see this laser working, the ooh and ah kind of effect of it. But yeah, so
well, the golf markers are stainless steel, right?
The golf markers are not. It's like a cast.
But it's engravable, right?
Yep.
Like diode laser engravable.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I know lots of people that would want those.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. I tested a couple different designs, and this one is the best one so far. There were some issues with like rust with some different designs. I'm trying to pop it off easily. Jeez, it does not fall off your hat. It's hard to. Like I said, I don't really need to get into what I was going to say, but some of them attach the clip differently, and there was a poor design where it would rust. So, I tested a couple different designs, and this one was definitely superior. Costs a little more than the other one, but it's nice.
Nice. So do you want to do a selfish plug and say your website or how someone would buy something from you?
Yeah, I mean, our website is greatlakeslasersupply.com, but truly my goal is to grow in business together with people. So our Facebook group is really the place to go, which is also Great Lakes Laser Supply. I want to help people grow in business. I don't just want to sell anybody anything. I want to, if they're having some obstacles, if they're trying to figure out what their niche is, I want to help them do that. I don't know what the business plan is. It is going to be something different than what I'm doing right now. I don't know what that is yet, but figuring out how I can, monetize, helping people the way that I'd like to.
I think too is that just buying blanks is one thing, but when you build a community around blanks, like even if you have the greatest intentions, you're not going to own every laser there is. So when you start growing that community of 3,000 members, someone's going to say, "What the hell am I doing wrong?" And you're like, "What do you have?" And someone's going to have something similar to you with that many people. They go, "Oh, try going at this speed and this." And maybe it's like people always say, Steve and I would get a lot of comments. What are your settings? Because a lot of people, I don't do that. I don't post my settings. And I've seen that. What are your settings? And it's like, dude, like, even if I gave you my settings, like the blank, the laser's not the same, or even if you have the same exact laser. I literally had a person who was asking me like every day for help. I was helping her. And I was like, oh my God. My wife's like, what are you doing? You're not charging this woman. There's no reason you should be talking that much. And she literally sold her lasers and she went and bought the identical lasers I have. And I'm like, dude, that is not resolving your issue. Like, wow. So
yeah, that seems a bit extreme. Yeah. And I mean, the other thing I've noticed as people are new, just getting started, is they assume that all the settings work for all lasers, right? Like not even two lasers of the same model, right? It's just, somebody, I did this video today, came out with the engraving on the kneeling pads. And somebody asked me what the settings were for a 70-watt something or other. And it's like, something start here, what I used, and go up from there, right? Play around with it. Same response I give to everybody. Run a material test, right? Then you'll know.
Or even like what Andy was saying the other day with a CO2 laser, he's not getting the optimal output he used to get. So if he's getting a 10%, 20, 15% difference, is he going to ride it out till it fails? Maybe, what I mean? Depends on how until it starts sucking, right? But you have to have the know-how, not just someone telling you a setting, to be able to adjust those settings, to notice that like, hey, this is not the same. You know what I mean? Or that maybe order the tube and get it on its way, and then when it burns out, you're not SOL, and you're not running. You're like, I already got the tube over there. I guess now I have to swap it out, right?
Well, I had a great email yesterday. I posted a video this past week on scroll saw versus CNC versus laser. And I did the same project on all three. And I got an email from somebody that just got a CNC. They have no idea how to use it. They want to make the same sign that I did in this video. What are the settings? How do I do this? How do I get it set up? Where do I start? What bit do I need? So I replied back in the email. I said, you need to go to AndyBirdBuilds and ask him. He's got a whole course on it. I'm not going to try to teach somebody through email how to use a CNC. It just.
There you go.
Yeah. How do you explain tool tests over email?
Oh yeah.
Crazy laser dad said, especially in a crowded market, you need to set yourself apart. If you want to reach more people, teach more people. That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah.
I always say there's so much work to go around. There's no reason you have to be like cutthroat, right? So.
Yeah, that is. People are often shocked. Somebody asked me today about whether I was the Steve that was going to be on Clack's live stream. I said, no, that's Bentari. He's also a Steve. We all talk to each other. Right. And they were a little shocked about that.
Yeah. I remember early on, someone was kind of talking smack about Clack in one of our lives, and I was like, just so you know, we're all friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean we won't give each other shit, right? What did Andy say? We're like 4 men drinking beer in a garage. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to haggle each other now and then, you know. But,
Wait, you guys are drinking beer?
Oh yeah,
What the heck?
yeah, man.
Oh my gosh.
I've actually got my witches brewed. This is tequila, not straight, but
I've got water. I guess I need to run to the kitchen.
Not straight. You're not left out. I just have water. So
okay.
Yeah, if I
so I'm leaving for Mexico the day after tomorrow, so I got to get all prepped up for the tequila stuff again.
Nice. Got to build up that tolerance.
There you go.
Oh, Clack. We need that. We need that song. I have a feeling somebody's watching me. What's up, Clack? Yeah. So Clack's
Blake,
a good guy.
Question for you. So I know I think this would be a lot of people will find this valuable too, and I'm curious. What is your balance right now with you work a day job versus, because you said you have a commute, so that's why I assume you're working a day job.
Yeah.
Plus you have the supply company. Plus you are lasering stuff yourself. What's the breakdown and what's that like?
Oh, did my wife tell you to bring this up?
No, she didn't.
It's crazy. And then on top of that, the reason why our first business was called Outnumbered 5-1 is because we've got 4 daughters. So I've got 4 kids. So I've got twin 17-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
Nice.
Yeah. So my day job, I'm an operations manager for a quality company. I've got about fluctuates between 130 and 150 employees. So I'm working pretty much 24/7 for my day job. And when I get home, I'm, marketing and answering questions and, doing as much as I can for Great Lakes Laser Supply. And we've got Outnumbered 5-1 really cut down from where it used to be. I did year 2, I think I did 50 plus craft shows. I was doing a 2-day show, Friday, Saturday. I was doing a Sunday show every single weekend. Now I'm only doing 1 craft show a month for Outnumbered, and we're only doing the ones where we're making, better money. Molly says I'm too positive. We may have a show, and let's say I only do, $600, $700, $800. I still look at some of those connections that I make, the orders that I take. I was at a show recently where it was a ghost town. So I went around, I'm collecting business cards from other vendors. I see somebody who makes mittens and hats. So, hey, would you like branded leatherette tags for the stuff that you make? Yeah, I could definitely do those for you. Email me your logo. I saw a permanent metal jewelry booth. Hey, what do you guys use? Your business cards are basically kind of lame. So I made a live engraved on a black metal business card with their logo and everything. Got an order for the whole company with black business cards, all because of that connection. So, even though it may be a slow craft show, I'm going to be out there hustling, meeting people, and making sales happen, even if there's nothing going on at the craft show. I'm filming TikToks. I'm filming content. I'm 24/7.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. You're not like a car salesman. That's a
Roger, they're asking about your girlfriend, Roger. They want to know what her name is.
Actually, it's him. He's a retired rock star from the Ungrateful Dead.
So we do support the LGBT community.
And S.
It is. Chris, no, you know what? Actually, they bought the lasers. They actually bought the 30-watt laser behind me, the darker gray one. And then I really didn't hear from her much after that. Maybe she was mad she spent so much money and she thought I was going to continue to be free tech support. And I have no problem helping someone, but
I struggle to help people who could just Google something. But there are a lot of, I get at least 10 emails a day or more where somebody has legitimately got a problem, right? And those are the people I want to spend time with. So
Jim, I just want to explain to you really quick. You're looking at 5 different influencers that may be on a total of 4 to 5 different social medias. So that means that I could be live on my personal Facebook page, my Ricks2Cents page, Instagram, YouTube, X, all at the same exact time. And we use an app called StreamYard. And the reason I'm sharing the comments is because it's pulling them all in one box. But if someone's in Andy's YouTube channel and someone is in my YouTube channel, they can't see each other's comments. So the reason I'm sharing them is so that everyone can see that I am reading your comments and that we're also sharing collectively, bonding as we go through. So if you're in someone's live or you're on someone's Facebook and you're like, hey, I'm the only one here, how come where are all these 70 people, 100 people at? It's pulling all this together at once.
I saw that you had that option available. I've done it before, but I didn't want to do it without asking you, so I did not share the screen.
No, you're more than welcome to. Yep.
I know, Steve, I've consumed a bunch of your content, so I know a good amount about you.
You just think you know a lot about me.
Well, I mean, I know what I've learned from YouTube. Is there anything? What else? Sounds like there's something else I should know.
You ever seen this picture at a post office?
No.
Have you been on
Then you don't know everything about me. or you know, have you ever seen anybody like me on OnlyFans?
Yeah, the silver fox. You gotta watch out.
You know, somebody's gonna go look for that someday, and I'm gonna get,
and they're gonna find it.
I tell you, we don't have a lot of ladies. It's majority men, but it seems like that whenever we get the ladies, they're either hitting on Roger or Steve. Mostly Steve.
Experience, man.
I guess I got hit with the ugly stick in the group. I don't know what happened.
Wow.
Jim said I just ordered 5-year golf hat clips today. Can't wait to try them. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Let me know if you have any issues or need anything.
Paul said another issue with preparation of materials such as canvas, spraying, hand painting, and number layers, etc. Roger, you want to comment on that?
I'm working on a sign right now. It's multi-layered Christmas sign. There's going to be a whole lot of airbrush and hand painting on. My wife's going to do the hand painting. My hands aren't steady enough. But a lot of it's going to be airbrush, and then it takes a lot of time to put one of those together. So if, you know, when you are going to sell that and you've got, 10 hours in it, you're not going to try to sell it for $20. You need to get 100 or more out of it.
So Roger, what do you think was typical for you to kind of learn those settings or go through? Do you think that was a couple-month process to kind of learn that, or you just went through a shit ton of canvases? Like, what's your advice someone starting off, trying to go down that rabbit hole?
Well, on canvas, you're going to have to do a lot of testing. I mean, it's just, if you're laser engraving on canvas or if you're sublimating on canvas, either one, you're going to have to run some tests. There's just no way to say you're going to need to do on a sublimation this much for this many minutes at this temperature, because your canvas may be different.
Right.
And if you're laser engraving on your canvas, it depends where the canvas came from. If the canvas came from Hobby Lobby, it's going to engrave a whole lot different than the canvas you get at Dollar Tree. I mean, It's just a world of difference there.
Paul, the other thing I would suggest is that a lot of people think when they're doing these testing, you have to do this huge image just because that's the true picture or the actual size you want. Don't mean that you can't start out testing this small, right? And doing it over and over and over and over again until you duplicate the results you want, and then go and blow it up. But that one big canvas, you may have had 50 different test patterns, right? So that would be just
that's normally what I do. I start with something that's a big image and I squeeze it down to like a postage stamp and engrave that. And you won't get all the detail necessarily, but it tells you whether you're in the right orbit or not, right? Yep. So it's and if you're not, you just move over a little bit on the canvas and do another one, right?
Yep.
And you're only sacrificing one canvas instead of who knows how many.
Yeah.
Another experiment you're going to have to do with the canvas, if you're going to be doing color engraving where you're spray painting in a color first, is to do an experiment to make sure that the color or brand of paint is actually going to be compatible with what you're trying to engrave, because some of them just tend to ignite.
No. Cody said, I love seeing community over competition. Absolutely.
Well, that's the goal, right? It's. I mean, we're not. Well, I mean, I do YouTube almost full time, but workshop anyway. I don't have a day job, and I still don't look at it like it's competition.
I don't think there's anything wrong with friendly competition, and what I mean by that is that I was on Clack's live the other day, and he said something about CNC. I said, I still haven't seen my CNC. I still haven't put mine together. And he says, Rick, how long I've been hearing that? And it was like lighting a fire under my ass. Like, just do it already. You know what I mean? But just,
well, so that's not competition. That's public shaming.
Nah.
And that was deserved.
But you know what I mean? And at the same token, like I'll use Roger as an example. You know, he made he made some badass LED signs on the Monport K40. And we got the Monport K40 at the same exact time. And I've been wanting to do that forever. And I'm like, I'm finally gonna do that, you know? Even if it wasn't I was gonna sell them, which I think I will. I just want to make some for myself.
You're in a union, just take a couple of sick days.
Exactly. If I put the IBW logo, boom, stick it in there. I think
you're sick today. You have to go to the basement.
Take one of your cedar fence pickets, make a porch sign.
There you go.
Yep, get that. There we go. It's on it.
So I think I was going down
a little hanger on the back, and that's $30 right there.
I think I was going down more the rabbit hole that Andy had mentioned with the kind of the paddles. You said that one of your followers started a paddles.
I was muted. Sorry.
A paddle.
Yeah. We were talking about. So let's give a little context. We were talking about like literally, there's a market for everything, and I've seen it. Like, you know, like you talked about, you know, finding your niche, and there's niches out there for everything. And so I ran into. If there's some people watching on my YouTube channel from my community, they'll know what we're talking about. But we found somebody that made basically sex toys on their CNC, like BDSM stuff. And they have a very successful Etsy that's what they make, wooden paddles and
splinters. I mean,
you would definitely want to do a good sanding job on the
high grit sanding.
Yes. So in Rogers and I's area, there's been like a high flex that I've never seen, unprecedented amount of people from India coming in here, to the point like they're buying out whole plazas and like closing down Best Buys because they're putting in, they want this plaza to be Little India. I mean, from the bank to the Little India, right? And they're into cricket. So
cricket's huge over there.
So things that like those little paddles, things that would not maybe necessarily sell in our area normally, because all of a sudden this demographic group in Naperville is like a pretty well-known Richie area that has now all of a sudden changes, you know, and maybe that's not even something you're into or used to, but doesn't mean just because you like it doesn't mean it's going to sell, and just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not going to sell.
Very true.
You know.
Yeah, and like I talk about all the time. I talked about a lot on my YouTube channel, and it's finding that product to market fit, like, you know, product to person fit, and everybody has different interests, and that takes. I think we're probably like, people don't like us tonight because I don't know if we've been talking about you have to experiment a lot. They're like, no, I just want to know this. I just want to know what works. I was like, well, that's not how it works.
Yep.
Because then we'd run out and do it.
Right.
I can answer this one here about laser engraving blank sublimated tumblers. Whether it's blank or it's already been sublimated doesn't make any difference. We do hundreds of these a year. And yes, you can laser engrave them, and no, you don't have to heat them back up to set the coating on it, because the coating is already set from the factory on that blank. It's a polyester base. And what you're doing when you sublimate on it is you're sublimating the dye from that paper, and it's going into that polyester coating. So you don't need to do anything else to it. You could sublimate it first and laser engrave it afterwards too if you wanted to. Like on this one here, I could put my name down here if I wanted to, do that with a laser. So yeah, you can do that. And the diode laser will do it too. So you want a close up of that. This Halloween theme here. But there again on the, you're going to have a seam side, and if you want to laser engrave something, that's a perfect place to do it. So yeah, you can do it. No extra heating required or anything like that.
Nice. So
yeah, to Andy's point about just having people want an answer, it's I almost never do that. It's my first question. I usually answer their question with a question. When they say, "How do I do this?" My question is, "What have you tried?" Right? Because if the answer is nothing, well, you're not going to learn anything from me, right? What's the old saying? I hear, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I understand.
Mm-hmm. Like that.
And I could easily answer lots of questions, but tomorrow they'll be asking the same question. But also, if they're experimenting on their own, they might learn something that I don't already know, right? And I can go, wow, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
Right. Sometimes you find things by mistake.
Yeah, well, I always make mistakes, so
no,
I
find
learn
out
a lot
new
that
things
way.
by mistake. You know what I mean? It wasn't intentional.
Yeah. Well, that's how I learn almost everything.
We had, and our it was almost comical because when we first started this live, it was like, as people, we have regulars now, obviously, in our community continues to grow. But one of the first questions always was, and we would laugh, and it was no disrespect, but what's the best laser to buy, right? And then the second question was, what's the best thing to make, And it's like, even if, let's just say, Andy said, here's my website that I sell. Here's all the download files. I'll let you copy me. That doesn't mean that you're going to succeed, because it's he's built that business around it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
So I did this foam kneeling mat video, and one of the first comments was, "Hey, I can make coasters out of these things," and I was like, but then the justification came. It was like, well, I have hard floors, and if they're like glass coasters or something, they're not going to last long, right?
There you go. You know what? Actually,
and I thought, this is brilliant. I might make coasters.
I have, my house was built in 1865, so I have really old original hardwood floors, and my couch kind of screws up the floors every now and then. I don't know, because you're right. I even buy those little cheap felt ones. They just never last.
Hot melt glue some carpet on the bottom of them.
Yeah. So 336 Dave is venture hiding in there somewhere. LOL. I don't know what that means.
No, 336 is Dave's number of days of work remaining before he heads to the shop full time.
Okay. I know Clack's been putting his little countdown every single day.
Yeah.
Crazy Laser Dad said it all goes back to give a man a fish, yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. Don't give them the settings, teach them how to find their own.
So anyone can have all the fish that I have. I don't want any fish.
Alan the Maker said if you know your machine, it's easier to just dive into new material. You get the dive time and feel better without testing. Yeah.
That works most of the time, and I don't have the example right up here, but we're making a whole bunch of wood Christmas ornaments out of 1/4 inch long plywood. I had the settings down. I mean, I've been cranking them out, and I had one spot on one of the ornaments, and it's down in the shop, where there was some kind of filler or glue or something inside that plywood, and it barely just engraved over it. Now, it didn't cut it at all, but it cut the other half of the ornament out. So it was weird. But yeah, that happens.
I've had plywood literally ignite, look like a sparkler. You know,
it's that plastic wood filler stuff they put in it right when there's a knot hole.
So it's like, that sucked. But so Blake, there was a question. Do you put out a ton of content on YouTube, or is your primary social media Facebook?
So it all started with TikTok, and I was somebody, going back 3 years who made fun of TikTok. would make fun of anybody who watched TikTok, used TikTok. But then I want to say probably Gary Vaynerchuk really got to me. And I'm like, you know what? All I'm going to do, I'm just going to post in process what I'm working on. I'm not selling anything, just showing what I'm doing. And we really very quickly kind of grew and grew. I was trying to just get our name out there a little bit. My strategy in the beginning was to find somebody who was live and let me go live with them and engrave their logo live. So I would literally just post on TikTok. I'd say, hey, can I engrave your logo on my laser live? And finally somebody, her name was Bree at BS Table Creations. She said, yeah, come on and do it. So I went live, engraved her logo live, and really blew up from there. We then grew a TikTok relationship to the point where I was going live. We were going live together, two completely different worlds. Actually have a great video with her that'll be going on my YouTube channel, where she went live in my laser group, just talking about our story, going live together. She sews and has a sewing store. I'm this crazy guy with a laser and she's sewing, and all these women in her group who quilts and do all this stuff. It was crazy, and it grew, and then we're over like 8,000 followers on TikTok. And the TikTok algorithm is very crazy. I would say it's primarily laser people, so that helped with our transition. It made it very easy. So now we actually have two different TikToks. We've got Outnumbered 5-1, our Great Lakes Laser Supply TikTok, where we post primarily just the Great Lakes Laser Supply stuff. And then YouTube, I just started maybe 2 weeks ago. Once StreamYard added the feature where you could stream to multiple places, because streaming into a group is complicated. So I'm transitioning some of the videos that I've already recorded into my YouTube channel. So sorry, that was a long answer.
No. Paul said I could never put myself in front of a camera. My mother always said I have a face perfect for radio. I would say that you definitely take some comfort getting in front of a camera. And I would also tell people, don't delete their own content, right? Because when you start watching your old videos, you realize that the improvement you've had.
Mm-hmm.
But if you delete the video, you lose the views. But even then, if anyone's watching you, they see the growth. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Even if you advertise like $99 lasers, you should never delete that video.
I haven't.
You should keep that up there forever. Because I keep posting it. I don't know if you noticed that videos get views.
I've thought about creating a TikTok account, but I've struggled with it because it's like, okay, I've got 1 minute to show you how to make a desk, right? Or something, arbitrarily complex. It's like, how do I do that? Like, I don't get it. Right?
So my daughter made fun of me forever. She's like, Dad, you're old school. YouTube is like old, Dad. You got to do TikTok, right? And I was like, what? And so when I was doing a challenge coin, I made some videos. But then really what I started doing on TikTok was I started doing the, Opus? For the creating
Opus
the
clips.
Opus clips.
Yeah.
Yep.
Opus clips and creating the shorts, even of our own lives, and linking them back to the live to grow the audience. You know what I mean? And I noticed, like, it's weird because if right now, after this video is live, if you go to YouTube and you look, hey, how many views does this video have on your channel? And let's just say it says 200. That's a bogus number, because that doesn't mean who is live in the feed right now, because it can't count all of us, right? And then also because it's posted on 6 different social media accounts, it can't add up all 6. So and then the live views and then the reviews after live, that's like that count resets. So all I would say is, if you start using like a StreamYard or live, don't be discouraged and think, why am I not getting as many views? You could be. It's just that number is not, you can't encompass that from all the different angles.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. But I've done good on TikTok. I did a very bad video that was intentional. Steve made fun of me. It looked like a really poor Chinese dubbed movies, like when they're like,
it was like the Asian martial arts overdubbed into English movies, right? Where the lips move, and then about 3 seconds later, the
but it was
the English
intentionally, you know what I mean?
translation appears.
It was intentional and it was funny, and the video got like 2.2 million views. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but it's just there's this Mexican guy who was a tile guy, and he bought a tool, and his wife said something to him, and I took the audio and made a video for a laser, right? So, but I made it to the point that I wasn't trying to actually steal it like it was my voice. I was like, so you know that it's, you know, legit dubbed. It was comical. It was a skit. But what was funny was some people believed it, and they were like, you shouldn't lie to your wife. You know, that's not how you make the marriage. I mean, I was like Karen, you do realize like it's a joke, right? Like it's a joke. And the joke
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I don't think so.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I can share it if you want me to. But...
I looked at it the first time I looked at it. It was like, what the hell, man? What is this guy up to?
Yeah.
And then I realized about halfway through that no, his voice doesn't match his lips, so it's overdubbed, and there's something going on here.
Yeah, it was just funny. It wasn't even my wife recording; it was my daughter. You know, it was just a funny thing.
I don't know. I've had TikTok send me more than one email to say, "Hey, we notice you're a content creator and you're not on TikTok. What's wrong with you?" So maybe one of these days I'll do it. What I need is a manager to do some of this stuff for me. I need an ops manager.
I think the difference with TikTok is that some of these people starting off. To me, Amazon is like the kickstart for YouTubers, right? Because I'd say 80% of Amazon reviews now are fake, right? They're influencers, right? So if you're trying to get started, you can probably get some fairly inexpensive items off Amazon really easy. And what TikTok is doing is saying, if you start on TikTok, rather than you going out there and trying to approach these manufacturers right off the bat, like, hey, go on here. Here's a list of all the manufacturers that want to get influenced. And here's automatically the amount they're ready to pay you. And then click this and they'll mail it to you. And they have to mail it to you within 12 days. And you have 30 days to post a video. So they're already pre-negotiating that. So if you're trying to start that off, but the problem is just the same as when you first started out and you're reviewing cheaper items. Man, I don't want to review sandboxes or Play-Doh or a fan sprayer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but they don't get me wrong. They have some badass stuff too. Like I've seen $5,000 grills on there. You know what I mean? So, but it's just, I guess, a different way for somebody to start. Maybe they could leapfrog.
I thought,
you know,
didn't they just pass a law in the U.S. about posting fake reviews? They're trying to mitigate some of this fake review stuff. I thought I read somewhere they just posted a federal law now. It's a federal crime to post illegal reviews or fake reviews.
Alan the Maker said, Blake has really helped me break from my shell to get into podcasting and out in the community. It turns out I love networking. Nice one.
Cool. There you go.
That's not your wife, is it, on a fake account?
No.
Speaking of fake reviews, one of his kids.
Honey, join all these accounts. Make all kinds of accounts.
Get off there.
Yeah.
You've
done your job. Go to bed.
I find it hard, like-minded individuals, when it comes to lasers, CNCs, and business development in general. Steve said early on when we were once started this live, today's live, you know, a manufacturer had kind of asked what my channel was about, right? Because it's a difference. And I said that my channel is not necessarily just woodworking, it's about entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
About business and a business.
And for Alan the Maker, the things he's listed here, laser, CNC, and business development, are exactly what I do on my channel. So
Right.
With the addition of some woodworking and a few other things,
and we'll throw 3D printer in there as well, you know.
Yeah,
and then we also throw
3D printing, not as much as Roger.
But then also the same thing of, let's just say that, you know, we said crafters, and we're not even saying these people who are, and they're saying like marketing's marketing, right? You can pick up marketing skills. It doesn't matter if someone sells a car or shoes.
So I read one marketing book in my life because my mentality, and I apologize to anybody who's in marketing who happens to be listening, in tech where I spent 35, 38 years, my perception of marketing was their job is to find someone else to do their job. And I apologize, but I have read one marketing book. It's a book called Brand Hijack. And it's highly recommended if you really hate marketing, but you want to actually have to understand how marketing works. It goes through a couple of real world scenarios about things like how Jolt Cola disrupted the cola business because, they were a tiny company and all of a sudden, boom, they took over, right? They had a measurable market share just by doing cool ads.
So we have
my one endorsement for marketing.
Official comment from the boys in blue. Mr. Clack. The FTC passed a rule back in August. It makes a fine possible, but the language is very sketchy.
Oh, so Clack's not going to arrest us if we do fake reviews.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's more geared toward like slander, like you just blatantly lying because you're mad.
No, it was pretty clear when I was, I don't know if I saw a story or I read a story about it. It was pretty clear that they were specifically targeting influencers who were posting fake reviews of stuff.
Wow. Yeah, because I guess when we first started, they says, how is it that you see influencers do, 10 videos, 20 videos a month? This is the best laser they ever made. And they says, where's that easy button that every time they turn it on, no problems, no whatever. And we had said that collectively as a group that nothing's flawless. There's always pros, there's always cons. And as long as there's more pros than cons.
And I always call out the cons too.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy to find out what I don't like. Just look at things I haven't reviewed on my channel. Right. I've seen a lot of them. I had a corner full of things that I got that I never reviewed because I looked at it and went, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And
I got a corner.
Some of them I sent back, and it's just, I just can't deal with the fakery, right?
If it's just straight up trash, I'm gonna probably just tell them like, hey man, this ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Like
I've done that in advance of receiving things too. Sorry, Roger.
No, I'm saying I flat out got things. I'm like, this ain't gonna work.
I have too.
Yeah, recently one of the companies that I do reviews of their stuff is called PYD Life. They make sublimation blanks. And I did a video on, I bought the blanks. They didn't give them to me, but they saw the video and they offered to send me some blanks to test and demonstrate for free. I said, yeah, go ahead. I'll take a look at them. They sent me like 5 cases of different blanks. This great big heavy FedEx box comes. I'm looking at it. What the hell is that? Open it up and I got all these different kinds of blanks, and some of them are pretty cool. There's some ceramic like Christmas tree ornaments in there.
Nice.
Cool.
That you sublimate to it. You're gonna have to have a sturdy branch though to hang it on. They're kind of weighty.
It's like a piece of ceramic tile.
Oh yeah, it's at least that heavy. It's
wow.
But there too, I get offers. I had a letter in the mail. I bought some earbuds on Amazon here about a month ago. I didn't do a review or anything on them. I mean, it had nothing to do with my channel. I just bought some earbuds. I get this letter in the mail. Hey, if you leave me a 5-star review on Amazon and let me see it first, I'll send you a $20 Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
Well, they're basically buying reviews, and I'm not going to do that either.
That's called quid pro quo.
Yeah. No, I get that probably at least 20 emails a day from Amazon.
Yeah, I get a lot of those.
At least. And I think it's like probably like 4 or 5 marketing agencies. You get on their list and it's like, dude, man, you can't. I just add them to spam and they send you a different, it was Fred the first time and now it's Nancy, right? You want
the other one I get quite a bit is say, we got this product, we'd like you to review it. All you have to do is go on Amazon and buy it, do the review, leave a 5-star review for us, show us what your YouTube video is, and we'll send that money to your PayPal account.
Yeah. So I get $10.99 on the money, and what?
Yeah, let's just not bother with it. Yeah.
So this Nancy's question here is actually an interesting one, because
The trick
the
question.
answer I would give, which other people might argue with, is I wouldn't use any version of Lightburn with these.
So you're going to have diehard Lightburn users. So my question is, are you a Lightburn user already, and that's why you're wanting to use it with an
Right.
xtool, or
But
you're a
if you-
complete noob?
But if you're a Lightburn user, you're probably, I would say, don't buy an xtool product. Right? They make great products, but they also make their own software for it that works. It works great, but it's not Lightburn. And if you use Lightburn, especially with things like the P2, right? You lose, focusing on a curve and a whole bunch of other features. And, same thing with the WeCreate Vision and Vista, right? You can use Lightburn, but you lose their really nice camera, right? So
and it's free, right? It comes with the laser?
yeah.
Okay, so if it's free, it comes with the laser. What do you have to lose? Just try it.
Yeah, I don't,
I mean, if you're
I
like-
don't have an M1 Ultra, so I don't know what would happen. Like XCS will handle the cutting and the printing and everything in an M1 Ultra, but I don't think Lightburn will even. Well, it might run the laser. I don't know. I don't know if there's a device driver for it.
Clack said we call feel good legislation just so someone can claim they address an issue. We
This
all
is
bought a lot of
the
stuff.
this
that'll
is the
fill
fake
one day.
review comment.
Yeah. Paul said I sent an Iker 24 watt for the life of me. I couldn't get the same test results I do now with the xtool on canvas.
Does that mean the same better or the same worse?
Yeah, which one's better?
I have an opinion of which one is going to be better, but I'd like to know.
Yeah, I do too.
Alan the Maker said I'm a diehard Lightburn user and wouldn't recommend using them for newer products.
There.
Oh.
Did we miss one? Did I overclick you? Which CO2 laser should I get? Well, I've got one sitting on my workbench. You should get that one. Right? This is such a tough question, right? It's like, what do you want to do?
Deborah, if you're saying what CO2 should I get, it means to me you've already done your homework and you've chosen CO2 based on the material and more than likely the size or footprint. But my question to your answer would be a question: what's your budget?
Yeah. And how much space do you have?
Well, and what do you want to do, right?
And where's it going? Because you got to remember, if it's in your house, even though just because your wallet can afford it, doesn't mean your door can fit it.
Yeah, if if the answer to this question for you is 120 watt CO2 laser, it's probably not going to fit in your house.
Right. Or you'll be like me, cutting my foundation, redoing your siding, and putting a commercial door in your backside of your house. And hey, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, and this Paul's comment here. I mean, people argue with me all the time about XCS, and it's like, I like XCS. Is it the best software? No, but Lightburn's not the best software either, right? So
hypothetically, what if Deborah said money's not an issue? What CO2 laser do I get?
A kilowatt industrial laser.
But maybe space still is an issue,
Yeah.
So if you want finesse, like the xtool P2S is a great laser, but it's not the most powerful. If you want power, like if your primary use case is cutting, you're going to want like a 90, 100 watt laser, right? Something like Andy's got behind him, right?
Yeah.
Or an Aeon laser, or
just the same as we saw diode lasers kind of go from 10 watts to now 70 watts, and the price really come down in fluctuation. I see as these diode lasers get 70 watts, I see 100 watts right around the corner. And I think once a diode laser is 100 watts and not 11 inches by 11 inches, because that's like pointless, a decent size, and it gives a CO2 laser a run for its money, then you'll see the price drop in the CO2s, because I don't see real reason. I mean, unless it has like a fancy auto level bed and all that. At the end of the day, that big box just has a small little. There's not a lot of components in that big box to make it $9,000 versus
Yeah.
$2,000. You know what I mean?
The only argument I would make against what you just said about 100-watt diode lasers is, unlike, say, a CO2 laser, where going from 40 to 80 is not a huge jump physically. Diode lasers, more power means more diodes and more
Yep.
optics and more everything, right? So
Yep.
you end up to get to a point where the laser module is just
Huge.
Unmanageable, right? 100-watt diode laser is going to have what, 12 diodes in it. Like, it's like the thing's going to actually more than that, because that's only 72 watts. I mean, this thing's going to be big.
Yeah.
Right? And that comes with some other challenges from an engineering perspective, right? How do you get all of that crap aligned, right? And if one of those diodes goes, the whole laser module is basically pooched at that point, right? So I think even at 70 watts, I think, IKEA came out with this 70-watt one, but I don't know anybody who wants it. I don't really see a significant advantage of going over, say, 48 watts. Like, after that, it's just, my laser module is bigger than yours, as opposed to it's more powerful, right?
Yeah, and the fans get louder and louder. The bigger
Well, that's the thing, right? You got
Sounds like a jet engine.
in a 100-watt diode laser, you're going to have like a 72 millimeter fan sitting up on top, just screaming.
It's just a box fan like you put in the window back in the day.
Yeah, it'd just be one of those, and a bunch of diodes hanging down below it.
No, I remember when I first had my first, the Atezzer P5, right? Right? And then the 35, that was like, whoa, like, and then go from a 35 to the longer B1, the 40 watt. Even that was a big, like, the 40 watt seems massive,
Physically, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the B1 does have a loud fan. I use the hell out of mine. It gets ran most of the day today.
Yeah.
But it's got a loud fan.
You want to put it in a quiet box.
Yep. Well,
or in another building.
Mine's inside the longer.
Yeah, there you go.
But my workhorse was the Atezzer V35, which has been retired. Is now the longer B1 is my everyday run it all day laser.
Yeah, but people, I get this kind of question. I'm sure you all do all the time. Which laser should I buy, right? And people always want to buy like the 70 watt, and it's like, okay, but if you have a 40 watt diode laser now, what do you think a 70 watt is going to do for you that your 40 watt diode laser doesn't do? Right? Yeah, it might be incrementally faster, but it's the law of diminishing returns, right? Just like doubling the power now, go from 40 to 80 isn't going to make it twice as fast. It's going to burn twice as quickly, but it's not going to cut it a whole lot better. So I think we've kind of reached the threshold there.
Yeah, I will say though, I didn't expect a big difference between the 35 watt and the 40 watt. I thought I wasn't going to see a difference at all. I thought it'd be the same, or pretty much close to the same, a not noticeable difference. But I make a ton of things with the cedar picket fences, and with the 35, it was like 5 passes. And again, we went over this. It really could probably be 3, but the idea is that wood can have a different moisture content. So to be consistent, if you run at 5, it's always going to pass through, right?
You always get just that one spot where it didn't cut.
Right. So you do 5, that's always good, right? You know what I mean? But with the 40 watt, I could do 1, but 3, again, like we're saying. So when you're talking, 3, 5, when you're making 200, like that's a lot. It may seem like, even if it's only 5 minutes, 3 minute difference, 3 minutes times 200 is
but going so. Like I said, I think 48 watts is kind of the pinnacle of performance.
Yeah.
And after that, like, do you think a 70 watt is going to cut twice as fast or engrave twice as fast as what you have? Because you run into all kinds of other physical limitations of the drivetrain, right?
No, it's not linear. It is. I tell people that all the time. If you're going from a 10 watt to a 20 watt, 20 watt's going to be twice as fast. No, it isn't. It is not linear.
So I think IKEA should send us 5, and then we can argue amongst each other.
Yeah, the one exception to that, Roger, is the well, there's a couple, I guess, but the one exception I've noticed is the algo laser, the Delta. They stack the beam. So they have, rather than having four little slices side by side, they have 2 slices with 2 stacks, and that's a significant difference. And you know, I think the only reason they don't stack them is I think it's hard. It's optically hard to do that. So I think that's why they kind of went to this, you know, beams getting bigger the more lasers you have. Like a 100-watt diode laser, the way they're stacking them now, the beam is going to be like the size of your finger, right? Like it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
We got a ton of people in the live now. If you have not already done so and you've made it this far in the live, do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and smash that like button. And if you're not already subscribers, make sure that you do.
Yeah.
And just
So
remember, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, finish.
I was going to say November 20th, remember, is our longer nano giveaway. So make sure you tune November 20th for the giveaway. It will be sent directly from the manufacturer.
Be here, subscribe to all the channels, get along in advance so that, you know, you're ready to go on the 20th. So Alan brings up another interesting point here about the wavelengths too, right? You know, people, I don't know about you guys, but I get 50 emails a day or a week of people going, how come I can't cut clear acrylic? It's like, because it's impervious to blue diode lasers.
Yeah.
And, you know, and CO2s have limitations too, right? I mean, if you want a diode, if you want a laser that can engrave almost anything, you got to get a UV laser.
Yeah.
But it can't cut crap, right? And same with a fiber laser, right? You can engrave brass or stainless steel. You can punch a hole through it. You've done your coin, right? Not that there's a segue there for you to show it, but but you can't cut a sheet of paper, right? You lay down a piece of paper under a fiber laser and you hit it with all the power and speed you got, and you're not going to do anything to that paper. Right? It just doesn't absorb.
Right. So to my point of what your comment was, that there's not one laser that's better than the other, but there is one laser that's better cutting a certain type of material.
Right. Every laser exists because it has a purpose. Is
right. And that's early on when we started this live, we started saying having one is like having none. And that's because when you get on these bigger jobs, you can't have a laser that's going to consume a half a day because you got extremely detailed work. And doesn't necessarily mean you're going to turn down that work. But at the same token, that I'll coin Steve for this. He says your first laser is the wrong laser. The second laser is the right laser. And that's
for the
because,
time. For the time. Yeah.
Right. Until it changes.
Tomorrow it might be the wrong laser too.
Right. And then 5 times later, you just have an addiction like us.
Yeah. Well, it's not really an addiction, right? Like if you come into my shop, you're going to see, if you go to my laser workbench, you're going to see well, I have a couple of CO2 lasers. You're going to see a diode laser. You're going to see a fiber laser. You're going to see a UV laser. And it's not like, oh, you know, I bring people into my shop to go look at my stuff, right? It's they all have a purpose.
Yep.
And like for engraving on things like wood, diode laser works better than anything, really.
Yeah.
But
Steve, was it you
that
said,
acrylic, CO2?
Was it you that you said last week or the week before that you wanted to put a video together like that? Like
I do want to do. I've always been meaning to do to answer this question, right? Which laser should I buy? Well, here's the options, right? Here's what they're good for. Here's what they're not good for. And you know, Clack is listening there, so I know tomorrow he's going to have one. But it's on my list and it's coming up to the top. So because I want to do it soon, because it's just this question. Like there's so many people just kind of getting into this either as a hobby or a side hustle, or even if they're just trying to grow their business. And you get these questions: what laser should I buy? You know, and it's, you know, when we answer it kind of tritely all the time, which is, hey, what do you want to do, right? And that's, you know, it's the right question to ask, but it's not a question the person asking thinks about, right? I just want a laser because it's cool. It's a bright light and I can do things. But you know, you have to get them to a point where you can say, here's what each of these lasers can do and not do, so that they can go, well, okay, in the back of my mind, I want to eventually do clear acrylic. So I'm not going to buy a diode laser. I'm going to buy a CO2, right? Or I want to engrave on glass natively without having to do anything. Well, there I'm going to go and get a UV laser.
And there's nothing wrong with having goals. Like you want a UV laser, right? But you're working your 9 to 5,
Right.
and you can't buy it, so you start with a diode laser. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So like the point of what Chris is saying right here, anything over a 48 watt, you should probably be looking at 100 watt. If money wasn't an object, that's an easy statement to make. That's an easy pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But you can buy a 48 watt for $1,000, and 100 watt, you could be thousands, right? Depending on what
at least two, yeah.
Right.
Two,
so,
three.
So, you know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with starting, staying in your lane, right? To maximize the most profit of what you had. Don't make excuses that you can't build or succeed in a business because you don't have that, right? Because you have resources. It's just the same. But let's say I don't have a CNC, but somebody wants me to do something. Doesn't mean as you build a community, hey, Andy, bro, can you do this for me?
Yeah. I mean, if you're just getting started, your first laser is the thing that gets you into a hobby.
Yep.
Right.
And
your second laser gets you into a side hustle. Your third laser gets you into a business, and after
or on
that,
the couch because your wife.
Your third, fourth, fifth, 60th laser, like Clack is asking here. Those are the ones that grow your business at that point, right? So,
right.
You have to look at it that way. And the beauty of this industry is no matter which one of these lasers you buy, there's a low end, an entry level, and a high end, right?
Yep.
The fiber lasers or CO2, right? You can buy a 1,000 watt laser if you want.
The only thing that I would say is, unlike cars, right? If you're building a race car, so to speak, and you're saying, oh, well, if I was to buy this car, I could always sell it, and buy it, my next car to upgrade. Lasers don't to have a great resale value. Like you may not don't think. So if you're on that threshold, like if I wait a month, I may be able to get the next one. Probably wait, But if it's 6 months, a year savings, then just do what you can. Just start, Yeah.
Now I will say for anybody who's considering a laser today, wait till Black Friday because everybody's got sales on Black Friday, right?
Yeah, we're less than a month away. So.
Yeah. Yep. So if you don't have one today, wait a month and buy something that'll be 50% discount.
Yep.
So I don't know the answer to this. So what do you guys think about the? I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Nejay
4 Max with the E80. You guys know anything about that?
They have, I don't know. I think, Roger, have you reviewed one of these?
I've never done a Nejay.
No. I know Clack has, but they keep bugging me about them. But the problem is they're very, I'll say, old school, right?
Is that the green lasers? Are they green?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they still use like the 2020 extrusion and all the the thing is like mechanically is like a laser from 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Power wise, they got lots of power, but I think I don't encourage them, and I certainly have. Like I said, if you want to know what I don't like, look at what I haven't reviewed. I haven't reviewed one of these.
Yeah, but I would say too, like buying the laser just to buy a quality laser doesn't mean you have to buy the xtool, right?
Right.
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with buying xtool. I'm just saying that, like, again, it could be an off-brand or something.
Yeah.
But
and that's what I said. There's an entry level for all of these things, and there's a high end, right?
Absolutely.
xtool is definitely the high end of everything.
Yes.
If you're looking at the low end and you want 40 watts, go look at a Ray 5, a longer Ray 5, or what else is down there in the entry level?
But there's also certain materials.
The Algo Laser MK2 DIY. Yeah. In fact, I'm working on that one right now. I've been doing working reviews.
I like the Algo lasers.
Yeah, but if you're doing certain things, like people were asking all these camera questions, you don't need a 40 watt laser to do it that, right? So it really depends on what you're making too, because you take a 48 watt laser, run it 100%, you just cut right through it, So it's going to depend on your material you're going to use too.
I'll jump through the chat here because Clack did respond to this, and this is my opinion too. So I've said this a number of times as I'm reviewing and talking about kind of the path of the laser industry. They used to be like when you bought a laser, even 3 years ago, you got a big box of parts and you had to put it all together, right? That's not where it needs to be. Right now, you look at something like the xtool, and all of a sudden, it's an appliance. Right, and that's the difference. And we've kind of moved in that direction. So they're safer, they're more sturdy. And this is the thing with an AJ. It just looks fragile. It looks like it's 3 or 4 years old, and it's not safe. Like it's open, right? I don't like open frame lasers anymore. But if you're entering the market for the first time, your first laser is probably going to be an open frame. It shouldn't be, but it's going to be because they're cheaper.
Blake, what laser? Again, I think you said it in the beginning. What lasers are you using?
So I've got a 100-watt CO2 gantry, front and back pass through, 8 inches of Z-axis. The trays come out, and you can even, go much larger than that. I've got a 50-watt JPT fiber laser and a 35-watt CO2 galvo.
Nice.
And did you said you went to? I said it's any name brands.
Right?
The green one here, the 100-watt CO2 gantry we bought straight from China. It's HL. It's an HL 1060G. Worked with them in the very beginning. They were amazing. Would I recommend it to somebody buying their first laser like we did? No. But I work in a CNC shop. We have a CNC shop as well where I work. So, I wasn't nervous about getting into anything, if something broke or fixing something, or if it came a little bit not working 100%, I wasn't really worried about that. And then the other ones are Noah, Noua, but now I'm working with Pascal with the, how do you pronounce it? Haitian lasers.
Yep. The dark gray one behind me.
Yep. I've got my first one coming next week. I've got,
cool.
Then another one coming a couple weeks after that.
So I have this 30-watt, and I'll have a UV laser coming soon. So
nice.
And so I just find it interesting because we talk about all these lasers, and of course, the brand name ones. You are paying for more than a brand in most cases. Someone that doesn't have any experience, they've taken a lot of that. They made an appliance, like Steve said. But you can go the other route too. If you have any experience, I'm sure. I don't know what the price savings was. Like this is a 100-watt thunder laser.
It's a what?
This is a 100-watt CO2 thunder laser. Compared to your 100-watt, I don't know price difference, but I know yours was probably cheaper.
I can't say it's the CO2s, but I can mention to the fiber, like if you were to buy it directly from China versus buying an Eons or a Monport, it's double.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah. For essentially the same thing, right?
I mean, I've seen the inside of a Thunder, and I mean, mine was $3,500 with a chiller to my door. And that's, I mean, it's a Ricks glass tube. I'm very happy with the quality of everything that we received. It's been a workhorse. We've worked this thing so hard. And the only things I've really noticed in the difference in the Thunder is the belts are thicker. They're all like, at least double the thickness. Everything else doesn't seem that much different. I'm pretty happy with the thickness and the quality of everything. I don't like the green color, but Molly does. So, that's fine with me.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'll put the Monster logo on there.
And I think it's important to like this laser right here. I think it's 10K.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right around there.
It is around that.
Yeah. And there are going to be differences. Maybe not in performance.
Mm-hmm.
But customer support, service, things like that. Like I think that's where you're going to see a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you guys seen AP lasers?
Yeah,
AP. Yeah,
they're here in Michigan.
So I've been talking to the owner of actually the company since I first started, and I don't mind constructive criticism. He basically told me like, Rick, I see your content growing. You're too small of a channel. My equipment's too expensive. These are the pointers I suggest you do. And I listened. When I listened, I went back to him and said, hey, I did this, X, Y, Z. He says, no, do this. I listen, XYZ, do this. And I talked to him 2 weeks ago, and he says, you are so good at, like being persistent and following, doing direction. Like, I should just hire you as a sales director or something. You know what I mean? Because he says, I watch your channel grow like 4 times the size, and it's like, some of it's from my own means, but it's also thing like Ricks2Cents is not, I know everything. Sometimes it's asking, like, what am I doing wrong? I tell my subscribers, if you think I'm doing something stupid in my videos, or you think this or that, like, say something,
Well, like community, right? You should be able to critique.
Right. But it's also like being humble, right? So if somebody gives you advice, like someone early on told me, like, look at the difference in the quality of just that light not being on. Somebody told me, hey, Rick, go buy yourself a $13 light, man. It's going to make your drastically improved. And then I'm next to Steve over here with his $13,000 camera.
No, lights everywhere, too.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is that
it's not 13,000. Jesus.
Okay, $8,000. Probably got $8,000.
No. An
Don't
FX3?
Well, and the lens and
4?
the memory card and the controller.
I don't use a memory card. I do direct from the camera to my video recorder. Which that's a little more expensive.
See, I told you.
Well, you can bring Roger. You can bring Roger into this too. He's got cameras on that pivot and move. And...
I've got PTZ cameras. There's 2 on me right now, and I've got a video switcher, and I can set my. Well, I got a Lumix GH5 set up in the shop downstairs. If I had my remote plugged into it, I could remote in, and I could look at the shop from up here. So yeah, I've got a lot of money invested in that video stuff and audio and.
Yeah. And for me, it's not like I went out and cut a check for a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I've got an FX30 sitting on the shelf over there. But it's like the side hustle, right? You grow a little, you buy a little more, you grow a little faster, and so on, right?
And that's also
anyway,
what we were saying.
Tom's been waiting for an answer to his question here, so I want to answer his question. No.
No, I don't either. Not unless you bump it or do something.
Let me ask another question. If you are having to, why would you say that is?
Well, so on my DIY laser, which is because I didn't want to pay $10,000 for a Thunder laser, I aligned the optics on that just more out of housekeeping as opposed to, it's not hitting material. I do that about twice a year. And it's like it's tweaking, right? It's not like I'm starting from scratch. So it's like a 10-minute job.
And I would say my CO2 laser, they're hot glue gunned in place to try to help the screws not move.
Well, yeah, that's a bit extreme, but
but it helps.
if you're looking at a higher end,
you put a wood in there,
Yeah, if you're looking at a higher end CO2 laser, like, I'm super impressed with the optic mounts on the xtool PS2. Like, those things are never going to move. You align it. Maybe when you take it out of the box, you may have to align it. I do it just out of habit. But then you're never going to have to touch that again.
Yeah. For the Thunder laser, I've owned it for 2 years now, and I've never adjusted them.
Nice.
Although you're saying the power's dropping down. So
maybe when you were talking about this, I'm like, maybe I should.
or take a Q-tip with some alcohol and clean off the mirrors.
Hey, I do clean the mirrors. But I didn't clean. What you said last week. I think there's a question. Anyways, about that mirror where the beam comes, or the lens that comes with
out of the tube.
Out of the tube.
Yep.
I've never cleaned that one.
Oh,
the lens or the mirror?
The lens, he's saying.
If you haven't cleaned
the lens.
Yeah, you should clean that on a more regular basis,
Yeah.
especially if you're cutting, like, you're cutting a lot of leather and stuff, right?
What's that? Well, it's this stuff, which is the MDF core. It's super nasty. It's so dirty.
You should probably you'd be surprised. You pull that lens out. It's probably got a black piece of charcoal in the middle of the lens. Like,
well, the final lens, right? The final lens, I clean that one. I'm talking about
out of the last mirror.
I'm talking about out of the tube. Like,
Yeah, third mirror.
Yeah, the first one depends how you. I guess.
No,
Which
the first
direction?
one is at the tube. Is at the laser tube.
That's what I'm talking about. The first one at the laser tube.
Oh,
I haven't cleaned that one.
yeah, you should clean them all. That one doesn't get super dirty, but
No, but they get dusty.
they do get crap on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I've cleaned the final lens a lot. I clean it all the time, routinely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and the mirror that turns it down.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
straight across it down.
I've cleaned all the mirrors, just the first one out of the
Yeah.
tube, whatever you call that. I haven't cleaned that.
Yeah.
And you
now,
said
if you have air assist, like the Thunder has good air assist, so it's probably not gonna get too dirty anyway. But yeah, the lens, it's just like there's not a lot of dust gets up there with air assist, like smoke or anything, but enough of it gets up there that over time, because the beam is focused at that point, right? And there's enough of it that gets in there over time that the beam just cooks it to the lens.
Yeah.
So and to a lesser degree that third mirror, but
Yeah.
it can get dirty.
Nancy
It
says,
doesn't
okay,
take much actually to start dropping the power.
And so the reason I asked about most of the YouTubers, everyone's using Liper and doing everything in Liper. And I love the craft, sublimate, and make t-shirts with my Roland. Also the Cricut. She says that she just bought a laser to create. So you are so
every
right. Every
machine
machine
has
has
a
a purpose. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. I tried to buy the Roland BNC20, Nancy, and they wouldn't even sell it to me. That was funny. I walked into a trade show and I'm walking up, and I just done a live not too long before with Stan Banks. He's very well known in the apparel industry. Then was live with Cricut, and then walked in and tried to buy a Roland BNC20. And I say, I want to buy this. And he says, I won't sell it to you. And I thought he was being a wise ass. And I was like, what do you mean you won't sell it to me? He's like, I know who you are and I'm not going to sell it to you. So I think he was thinking he was going to sell it to me, that I was going to bash it. And I was like, no, man, I have a 54-inch plotter at home. People are asking about this because they don't have room for a 54-inch plotter. And, I know it's slow, but it prints like amazing. He's like, all right, give me a second. I'm going to print your logo. And again, I don't think this guy knows who I am. He goes online, literally downloads the Ricks2Cents little font thing I have, and prints out one Ricks2Cents on a BNC20 that's like you're watching paint dry. And then he takes the 54 and he prints like 12. And I'm like, dude, how do you compare 3,500 to like 20 grand? Like, there's no, like, come on. I'm like, come on, man. And they had a big sale because it was during the trade show. I'm like, come on, dude. And I literally had like, here you go. Here's the money. Ring it up. He's like, nah, man, I won't sell it to you. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So like, whatever. So I didn't buy it. But I tried. Said Clack knows what's up. I guess that stirred up some. I got a little riled up from that comment. I wanted that thing. Looked pretty cool.
Start with a 5.5 watt laser. There you go.
Chris said, if I can't do a job, I refer them someone who can. That usually gets me back work you can. And there's nothing wrong with outsourcing. You don't always just push off a customer. Sometimes even if you make no money, it doesn't matter. They're going to come back for something else because you may just outright lose that customer, something that you could do. That's all I'm saying. It cost me $300 just to see if I want something, if I want to do it. That's why you probably start with a diode laser. It's not for everybody, and I could say truthfully, none of us are saying it's a get rich quick scheme. And we all have pretty decent jobs, right? And if we were just raking in the dough, trust me, that we wouldn't have that other job, right? Or if you get to the point, it is your full-time job. It took you a little while. It just didn't happen overnight. You didn't buy your machine in quick because it's an ATM.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my full-time job.
So how long did it take you?
I started AndyBirdBuilds in 2018 when I had a full-time job. And I worked for 3 years as like a side hustle. And then I'm 4 years, 3.5 years where I've been doing this full time.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
It's my full-time job too. Not necessarily using lasers. Most of my revenue comes from CNC work, but if I do laser stuff, it's usually engraving, B2B type stuff. So engraving for a business, doing, 10,000 watch bands, or 1,000 keychains or something.
It's really, and my journey's been really interesting. So in 2018, I started. It was like late 2017, early 2018. I started with the Shapeoko CNC. Before that, I started with traditional woodworking tools, but I got a CNC in early 2018, and it was all product side hustle stuff. And I did that. And so if you zoom out for like the 7 years, like I was heavy product. In 2020, I was the heaviest product. I had wholesale clients, mostly all CNC work. And then I started a YouTube channel in 2020. And so now if you look at my revenue, it's actually more. I make more from content, and basically that's my online course, than I do physical products. Now, we still sell physical products, but it's interesting if you look at my revenue breakdown over the years, that's the trend that it's gone on.
But you also wouldn't be able to teach if you didn't go through that journey.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are like this is AndyBirdBuilds is the third business I've owned. And so it's interesting because the business, the entrepreneurial side of things, is really kind of my sweet spot, what I like and my experience, and I happen to add CNC to it, right? It wasn't like I started CNC, learned the business, and then started talking about it. It's like, no, I had business experience, then I got into woodworking, and that's kind of how it's progressed.
So the CO2 laser was first, and then the CNC came in after the fact?
Say that again?
The CO2 laser was first, and then the CNC came in after the fact?
No, the CNC was first.
Okay.
Yeah, not the first tool, but the first of the cool tools.
No.
Yeah.
So it all started in 20. So like I was always in DIY projects, and we bought a house. We built a deck, and we did all that stuff. So I've been accumulating tools for 12 years. And I bought my first table saw. That's really when the woodworking stuff started taking, I really took up an interest. And that was for my birthday in 2017. And that's the one I cut my fingers on too. So.
And you're still here?
I'm still here. And hey, look, I have all my fingers.
How does that song go? But did you die? No. Okay, then you're good.
MOPA laser. Check out the Commarker B6 MOPA.
We also talked about that if you're talking about going direct to China, the cost savings.
Yeah.
But we'll do a safe plug.
B laser is another good one, yeah.
Yeah, so if you were to hit them up, that's the two lasers that we have, Blake and I. The CO2, the fiber lasers.
And I bet if you crack open the box, it's the same laser control as it is in the B6, right? It's the JPT MOPA.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a Ricks, right, or JTP. That's like
Ricks, is the other one. Yeah.
They're like OEM stuff, and then there's probably like 12 key players in China, and then everyone else is kind of building and rebranding, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're buying it, what I would say this is like, I'm not saying that like someone else other than the one I just plugged, that when it looks the same, because this Reyes, I saw someone's video. I'm like, what brand is that? Because they didn't even change the sticker. Like they literally put this sticker right here. I had them zoom up on it. It says the distance between here is here, and it tells you how to focus it.
Yeah,
they didn't change the sticker. And I was like, are you serious? But the other side that said the brand, they put a different name on it. So
I had to crack open this Commarker Omni 1, which is their UV laser, and same thing, right? It's got a JPT type UV module in it, and a couple of power supplies, and that's it.
Right.
And the power supplies are your standard, off the shelf power supplies. You can buy them on Amazon.
So not that I'm not supportive of our country and buying staying stateside, I'm 100% supportive of our economy. But what I would say is that what you are paying for when you're literally paying double the price is tech support. And Monday through Friday, 800 number, right? So if you are purchasing factory direct, remember the 13-hour difference. There's not going to be a number you can call. You can email, maybe Facebook. However, if they are an established Chinese company that established in the United States, they'll have a huge Facebook group or maybe multiple Facebook groups. So they may be able to help you, but the community is way more powerful than them because, they've built that client base, and you have a problem, somebody's going to help you. So just, go on Facebook and Google it, or search it. And if they don't have any kind of Facebook groups or following, probably not a good idea, unless you're really tech savvy and you don't care, you're just going for the bottom of the barrel price and you don't need help, then that's a different story. Right?
Yep. I think that's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So we said last week, if there was a US based we changed that statement. Not US based, North America based, right? Manufactured and assembled laser company.
We do things here in Canada too,
right? Right. So United States, Mexico, or Canada. We're in our continent. Right here you go. In that section of land without any going over the ocean, if there was a manufacturer who manufactured and assembled a laser, we'd even go stretch to say assembled US-based company or Northern American company, we'd love to see it. And we'd love to try it, because don't think that like we're pushing all these Chinese companies. We're not pushing Chinese companies. We're pushing quality products because we know that people are going to us and trusting us that in good faith, we're giving them good advice. So we're not telling them to buy something because there's an affiliate code or some alternative motive. So if that company exists stateside, so to speak, let us know, because I'm unaware of that other than SA Lasers. And SA Lasers is assembled, right, in Texas, but they're still not manufactured.
Well, Full Spectrum is the same, right? A whole bunch of Chinese parts, and they put them together in Las Vegas. So
it's just the way the market is. It's
right. Yeah. So okay. So even if saying assembled, we've only mentioned 2 companies.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
There are lots of North American companies, but all they're doing is rebranding, right? Like they're shipping an assembled laser from China, probably, and then they're buying it with their name branded on it, so they don't really have to do anything but sell it.
That's what Eon's doing.
Yeah.
Exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah. I mean, they have great lasers, but that's exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now that's what it's all about, right? Is it doesn't matter where the thing is made. It matters what the specification for it was and how good it adheres to that specification.
And don't be fooled by housing, right? Because someone can have something made in China with the same housing, and they're doing that intentionally because you recognize from Facebook or from online that housing, but the internal components could be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing Blake's green CO2, so you're like, oh, it's a green box. Oh, it's Blake's CO2. And you go buy it and you're like, well, this sucks. There's some trickery in that, because you're recognizing that. So just be aware of that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris said, Chinese laser industry is based the same time zone as me. Makes life much easier. Yeah, that you're definitely lucky for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, the Australians and New Zealanders, they get to have tech support that's much closer to them.
Yeah, Alan said tech support and community on Facebook. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And a lot of them do. Like Acmer has a really big community. xtool certainly does. Longer has a great community out there. So, they're out there.
Right.
But yeah, if you send a message to some support link on a website that happens to be for a Chinese company, you're not going to hear back until tomorrow, right? 24 hours later. And that's just a time zone thing.
Yeah, and Roger, even on the 3D printers, when he's talked about it, I won't say names, but he has said, hey, certain 3D printers he's purchased, they're great, but they're not going to help you, right? And then there's certain ones that are.
No, I'll say the name because everybody knows Creality's tech support is horrible.
Yeah, I certainly
Regarding
wouldn't,
3D printer,
wouldn't
it's just
argue with
absolutely
that.
horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. If you're good at tinkering and you know the machines, and I've got a lot of Creality printers because I know how to work on them. I know what all the little flaws are and how to fix them. But yeah, if you want support from them, yeah, not so much.
Yeah, everything is made in China. Yeah, Jay, she joined us last week and got Roger really, really red. Did you miss that one, Andy? You're here last week.
I did. I was looking for. I was just Googled lasers lasers made in the U.S.
Yeah, I saw Google. It said 10, and then I went to all 10. And it was like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. So that's why I said I'm not saying I'm sure they exist.
I'm sure they're out there.
I'm unaware of them. So
I'm trying to find one.
What's that?
I said, yeah, I'm trying to find one.
Yeah, I was unable to. So
yeah, and it's and there's a difference between made in North America and assembled in North America too, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, Full Spectrum is, they're getting boxes full of parts sent from China, and they're putting them together in Las Vegas. And that doesn't make it made in the USA, right?
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's world economies and how they work.
Except that you're getting essentially the same laser, but the labor to put it together costs 10 times as much.
Yes, and that's
so
why
it's going to be a more expensive laser.
Or you're getting the same laser, but somebody else is rebranding it, and you're paying twice the price. So if that's the case,
right?
Yeah,
well,
so
it's the import cost, right? Shipping and all that stuff.
I mean, Toyotas are assembled. Some of them are assembled in the U.S. All those parts aren't made in the U.S.
Yeah.
No.
But I think it's interesting.
Not so much.
Dodge Rams are assembled in Mexico.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thought, though. If someone has some sort of technical background and they want to make money with a laser, like Blake has obviously proven it. Like you could save $5,000 and get the same result, and make as much money as someone with a Thunder laser at a craft fair.
But you've got to be prepared to be. Now there is support, there is a warranty. I could not believe how many extra parts I got. I got limit switches, I got the shutoff switch, I got belts, I got lenses. I mean, I've got a whole box of stuff that I've almost never. I didn't have to align my mirrors for 2 years.
So you got extra parts. There were like extra parts. Like, where did these go?
No, well, they're just. I think they just sent replacements. But
it's like a piece of IKEA furniture. You always got.
How did I get 14 extra screws? That's fine.
No, it was planned, but they were really great. I had questions sometimes, and they were very quick to answer. I really I would not suggest. Now, you guys, yeah, sure, go ahead, get into it. You guys can handle it, but if you're somebody who is crafting and you're looking to expand what you're doing, no, it's not for you. Buy a get a Thunder, have that person on the other end of a phone when you call somebody right away. That support is definitely worth something. Now,
this one's for Roger.
$7,000. No, I mean I would buy this one again tomorrow.
Yeah, and so I that's what I said. I said someone with some technical experience, or and has the time, to deal with that, or wants to deal with it. And the potential pitfalls are there. It's possible for that person.
I built my own too, but I got a whole bunch of parts from China, and the difference was I could pick the best parts, right? I didn't have to pick some shoddy collection of things, And when it's broken, I know how it was put together because I designed it, so it's easy for me to fix. So I have essentially no downtime.
Hey, we found it wasn't manufactured in North America, but I mean, Steve is up there assembling lasers in North America.
Yeah, I'm not going to sell them to anybody though. It's too much work.
Hey, we'll test it out for you.
But the difference was, I mean, I built a 90-watt laser for less than $4,000 at the time. Now they're a little cheaper, but
Can you build a $99 laser?
no, I don't think anyone can.
Hey, 2 years
They
ago,
can sell a $99 laser, but it probably isn't really a laser.
so if I remember, next week I'm going to bring it with me. I still have it, I think.
Are you gonna do a giveaway? That would be so awesome.
And right now,
give away something that you
know those
give away something you've engraved with it. Just some ghostly shape on a piece of plywood.
There you go. I still get comments. Does this thing still work? I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, I'm not lying. I shared it. So
It's probably coming from you.
yeah, I shared it. So I thought it was so hilarious.
So if anybody doesn't know, I made a video on YouTube over 2 years ago now that blew up, has like 1.5 million views. And it's the concept of the whole video was I'm going to go find the cheapest laser I can buy on Amazon and test it out and make something with it. And so the thumbnail, you can't buy it anymore. This was 2 years ago. I honestly paid $99 for this thing. And yeah, and Rick doesn't let me forget it.
No, so I thought it was awesome. Hey, so those are people in the live. We did create a Facebook group for Shop Talk Live. You're able to post your builds, your channels, all that. It's a community. It's not one of our social media outlets. So if you are a fellow YouTuber, if you're a fellow business owner, feel free to share at any point in time.
I should really sign up for that.
What's that?
I should really sign up for that. Can you?
You need to, so I can make you guys admins.
Does it accept non-email address type accounts on Facebook, like my brand account?
Yeah, because I'll make you an admin.
Okay.
So if you guys sign up, I'll make you guys admins.
I think I already signed up.
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah.
I'll go back and check Andy so I can make you an admin. But yeah, so we may even start. I think I might start doing some giveaways and say, hey, the best project shared on the Facebook group. Or
win a prize.
$20 Amazon card or something. Nothing ridiculous, but I think it's cool. And again, this is just building our community of builders. This is just kind of showing, as you see, that at some point we are competitors of each other's.
And the best project of the year wins Rick's monster truck.
Do we have the capacity to do a giveaway right now? Like if I was going to give away a mixed pack of hat clips?
Yeah.
Yes.
Could we do like old school, like everybody picks a number or something?
No, we have a tool.
We've got technology.
Okay.
We have a tool, so let me get it opened. And all right, so let's announce this, everyone.
Did you just call Andy a tool? What?
Yeah, he did.
Blake, I don't have your. If you want to jump on this, these are the rules we have. So
what am I jumping on?
I need you to write in the comments your YouTube channel. Look, Clayton.
He's already on it.
Clayton, don't start yet. I haven't started the tool yet.
He's just warming up, loosening up in the bullpen.
Hey, while we're waiting, what about Epilogue? They say that they're made in the U.S. I just found.
Don't get me started on Epilogue. I don't even want to talk about them.
I'm doing some research. That's all I'm doing.
Did you guys hear about FabTech like 2 weeks ago in Florida?
No, what they do? What happened?
It was insane. It was a conference, biggest conference I've ever been to. Day one, I walked 8 miles.
Oh wow!
And I only finished 1 of 9 floors.
Doesn't sound like fun.
No, it was a lot of fun. I mean, there were lasers, CNCs, Epilogue was there, SA Laser,
Blake,
boss.
did you post your
No,
channel?
I didn't know. I thought you were talking to me about not posting right away.
No. I need you to post your YouTube channel in the comments so I can copy and paste it.
Okay. Oh wow, I don't know why it just did that. I hit enter once.
Well,
Okay,
then everybody can see it for sure.
Great
Yeah,
Lakes
there's
Supply.
no excuse now.
Hold on. Great Lakes Laser Supply. Let me find it really quick.
But I'm not going to get into it in a public forum. Never mind. It's just too
Yeah.
soon. I literally talked to them on the phone like yesterday.
Epilogue.
Yeah.
So anyway, are they truly made in the US? Do you know?
So I got like inside of the fiber laser. I mean, it's the components are the same as everybody else's from what I could tell.
Gotcha.
Same with their combo machine. That's the CO2 fiber combo.
You only have 4 subscribers? Oh man, we're gonna fix that.
I
today.
just started 2 weeks ago. I like literally 2 weeks ago started YouTube.
Okay, so
double
hold on.
your subscriber count.
So we know you started at 4, so we'll see what happens after this.
What's
While
happening?
you're doing that, I liked Clack's comment here
Yeah.
about Epilogue. I've had a similar discussion with these guys about this stuff.
Okay, all right. I didn't mean to strike a nerve, everyone. I'm just looking for U.S. manufactured. I'm not affiliated with Epilogue. They didn't tell me to say this.
No, but it was a valid comment. And America, we're always saying this, but the comment was that it's not as if we're only backing Chinese-based companies or influence-based company. We're all we live in this country and are trying to survive and provide for our family. So just the same as we're using a piece of equipment to make a living or make extra resources for our family, if there's a manufacturer we could give back to as well and form some kind of alliance, we would.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Yeah.
But just I'm unaware of that existing. So before we get criticized, well then find it for us because I'm unaware that this exists. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do it. Everyone knows kind of the rules. If not, we'll go over it just in case you're. Hold on. Why is it doing that? Hold on, sorry. All right. So,
What's the tool? How does it work?
hold on one second. I'll show you. I'll show that as well.
You got 3 minutes, man. Hurry up.
All right. So check it out. In order to actually subscribe, let me just here. Let me go back to the comments. All right, in order to actually be entered to win this, you have to go to every single one of our YouTube channels, which are in the ticker below, and subscribe. We'll just say it that because we don't have time in the last couple of minutes.
And including Blake's, obviously.
Yeah, Blake's is on there.
Is it?
We normally have other things, but since we're so late in the video, you have to actually subscribe. So do us a favor and do actually subscribe, because if you don't subscribe and you win, then you get disqualified. So 4 clicks, you're good to go. So in order to be entered into the win, you have to, in the comments, type pound or hashtag Shop Talk Live. And I will go ahead and share my screen. So if you've never been present during one of our giveaways, how this actually works is okay. We are allowing multiple drawings. So as you start typing, it's already going. As you start typing Shop Talk Live into the comments, it's automatically going to start entering you into it. So if you want to copy and paste it 100 times, we don't care. And let's be honest.
No space, Larry. No space.
Yeah.
Yeah, no space. Shop Talk Live.
And once you get it, put it on your clipboard and keep pasting, because that's what Clayton's doing. Now, what's the prize? What's the prize?
A mixed pack of hat clips, or variety pack, I guess I should say.
All right, so I'm going to hide our.
So they are a variety of colors. They can be engraved with a CO2 laser, diode laser, fiber laser, UV laser. We sell these along with our hats, and they have been an awesome add-on. So I'm giving away a mixed pack. It's got at least 5 different colors in here for you to try out and test of hat clips. So if you sell hats, they're a great add-on for those.
don't sell hats. Like Steve mentioned, he just sold a bunch of keychains before we went live, and like, damn, I could have probably sold those too. You know what I mean?
Well, they're for a company, so they're probably not much use to you.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean. So keep them coming, keep them coming. I see the comments flooding. We're actually at 8:30. We'll give it to 2 minutes after to give people a chance. Decent amount of people in the live.
And given my history on that, I also made just a handful of cork coasters, and they were at a conference. Well, what do you think went first?
Oh, really?
Keychains.
Look, see that, Roger? All this smack talking about the coasters, and he's in back.
Well, now
I do a good job
out of EVA foam. So
yeah, these high-end bars like them slate coasters.
Shop Talk Live, keep them coming, keep them coming.
It's going to be a short draw. It's already 10, well, whatever hour it is for you, but 31 minutes past the hour.
Yeah, it's 8:31 my time. So we'll give it one more minute. Shots out live, keep it in. Look at Clayton. Clayton's competing heavy hard on that one.
Oh, he's got some competition though. Larry's pounding it here.
Come on, guys. Come on. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So, Blake, this will also help your algorithm big time.
Awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we got 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Keep them coming.
Yeah, I looked at some analytics on my channel the other day, and I see typical video get like 40, 50 comments, and then there's these live streams that get like hundreds.
Yeah.
Oh, that was when we gave something away.
Yeah.
I did not stream this. I didn't know how long it was going to go, so I had never streamed this to my channel.
Oh, that sucks. Well, actually, if you log into StreamYard,
I'm there now.
Recorded, and you can download it and upload it to your video. To your
Okay.
From right there, you can share it to your channel right now. Actually,
Would the whole video though go there after?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Does it?
Yeah, because he'll go live, but it'll still be the back history.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're at time. So let me go ahead and share the screen, and then we will draw.
You didn't enter this time, did you, Rick?
No, I did not.
I know. I was
That's
looking
why-
at them
that's
thinking
why I
I should
shared-
enter. That's a good price.
That's why I shared Clayton's post. Here we go.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh,
There we
The
go.
numbers that got, man, he was right there. Good job, Paul.
And for Clayton's benefit, he only entered once.
That's so mean. Paul, are you building? Paul, are you in the building?
Clayton's learned to use keyboard shortcuts though. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Control.
how do I get in contact with Paul?
Paul, please, if you are here in the live, you have to be present for live to win. So,
I mean, Paul commented at 9:32.
He's here.
here you go.
Here he is.
Oh, here he is, Paul. All right, Paul, I'm going to give you my email address. If you didn't already, I'm going to give you till tomorrow morning to make sure that you are subscribers. I'm being fair because we were kind of did it last minute. I'm going to give you till tomorrow morning to make sure that you are already subscribed to all of our channels. And then once approved, then I will share your information so that you can have your mail information, send off your prize. So,
Thanks for doing that last minute.
yeah, no problem.
Cool.
All right, we are at time. We've had some interesting discussions. And again, this is a live questions answers. These are not script videos, and they kind of take a form of their own, a life of their own, because we are open to answer any question you have. So I thank you and appreciate everyone's time for joining us today. Steve or anyone want to say anything on the closeout?
No, I'm good tonight. But it's been fun. It was a fun night.
Yeah, it's been good.
Nice meeting you guys.
And I'll see everybody next week from
All right,
Mexico.
Roger.
I'll be streaming from Mexico.
All right,
Blake,
Blake, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Blake. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
All right, God bless everyone. Later.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.